When COVID first hit and everyone was quarantined, I started a thing called 50 Dates in 50 States, where my goal was to go on a virtual date with a girl from each state before quarantine was over. I got to 28 states, and then something wild happened. I woke up to an email from a producer in LA that said, "Hey Matt, I came across an article written about your Corona-era dating endeavor and think it would make for a great reality TV series. If this is of any interest, I'd love to have a conversation about it." Long story short, I had to put a pause to my 50 Dates in 50 States while the producers and I got to work on creating this new reality TV series about it. Things are still in the works, but they gave me the go-ahead to finish what I started.
And this is where it's getting interesting now. So, because I'm going to mention it, so you were contacted by the LA producer. What was that initial feeling like? You're like, oh my gosh, just got noticed.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was like so wild. I woke up one morning, I had an email,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it was from some producers in LA, and they found my they called it my Corona era dating endeavor, and they found it really interesting. They thought it would make for a good reality TV show. So I was like, oh, like at first I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, but I was also like, is this a scam? Like, it
Yeah, I
was.
was going to ask you. You probably had to be curious about that.
Yeah, absolutely. But I was like, I mean, I'm gonna reply because they emailed my work email, so I'm like, okay, they had to have probably done a little bit of digging or research to find that, and
Mm-hmm.
so I replied back and I was like, yeah, I'd be interested in hearing more. So basically, when we had our first Zoom, I remember when we had our first Zoom, I was so nervous.
Guys, we got our first sponsorship in the books. Thank you to Javita. With their coffee sticks, it's designed for coffee on the go and to cut costs. It's easily accessible anywhere. You can put in your backpack pocket, literally anywhere you want to carry this. But it's a little packet and it acts as a stir, and there's coffee grains inside. So all you have to do is just heat up some water and stir it up, and you got fresh hot coffee with a slight hint of vanilla. But no more coffee makers, no more stirs, and it saves you time. If you're interested, go to javita.co, and they're for one box of 15. It is $13.99, so it's already on sale. But if you enter my code AdamMac5, you get 5% off. And I just want to thank Javita again, because this is my very first sponsorship, and it's a small channel right now, but it can only grow from here. So I just went out on a limb that you continue to grow this tree by doing something different, or just be yourself.
Getting on that, I'm like, what is gonna happen? Like, how many people are gonna be in this? Is it just one person? Like, what's going on? Like, are they gonna interview me? Is it just like what is this? I didn't know. I had no idea what to expect, but I got on and there was three of them. It was like two producers and more of like a director, I guess you
Mm-hmm.
could say. And it was so, like, looking back, it's so cool to have gone through that experience. But I for about 2 weeks I talked to them straight on Zoom, and when like the first couple of days I could tell they were like screening me in a way. They
Yeah.
weren't they weren't like interviewing me, but uh, they were just kind of feeling me out, seeing what kind of kid I was. Like, they didn't want some just wacko or weirdo, yeah, and so I could tell they were kind of feeling me out and whatnot. But then we just kept talking and brainstorming and whatnot. So that was really cool. Uh,
Okay. So, is there any details you could share, with the podcast now, uh, like when it will air, maybe, or is that like phase two then with this show?
so yeah, I could definitely touch on some stuff. So uh, with the TV show side of things, it's um, that there's so many loops we have to jump through to get it to there. So basically, after I
Mm-hmm.
talked to them for a while, they wanted to create what's called a sizzle reel, which is basically like another word for a trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would put together like a trailer for what we wanted this show to be, whether it's virtual, whether it's in person. Do the girls come to me? Do I come to the girls? Like, what is that? And so we were trying to figure out all that, and then they would put together a sizzle reel, and we would pitch it to networks. And if a network bought, that's when it goes into production mode. So that's
Mhm.
kind of how everything works. So we'd start at the top with, Netflix and HBO and Amazon and Hulu and stuff, and we'd go down the line. And then if one of them wanted to buy, then it would go into production mode. So
That's
for
awesome.
things right now in terms of the TV show, they're still trying to figure out the direction they want to take it, and kind of talking with different agents and things like that. It's not like, oh, it's not nothing's I should say nothing's like, I don't have a date where it's like, oh, I have a Netflix show starting on uh January 1st.
Hmm.
It still has to possibly get to that point, so nothing's certain of it becoming a TV.
Okay.
um but regardless of that, I personally, like, because I don't what I don't want to do is, I don't want to, like, take a back seat, and I don't ever want to expect anything to happen.
Yeah.
Even though they're confident in things, like, I don't want to ever be like, oh, they got it, this is gonna be a show, like, especially with all the work and time and effort I put into it. So I want to be proactive and take approaches. So I've got some big things in store for it. That's all. And I will be announcing those next week. So
Oh, okay. So, I this is not in the thing, my episode list at all, but when you were talking about that, you had to stop for a second, it was because of the LA stuff that you were in talks, so you had to pause it really quick.
yeah, yep. Talking with them and everything, they told me that they wanted me to just kind of discontinue it, just because they were like, oh, if this does go into a show, do we want to use the girls that you've already gone on dates with? Do we want you to finish it out and then use all the girls? Do we want to create auditions or casting calls? They didn't really know the direction on how they would take it, so they wanted me to just kind of put it to like a pause while they figured that out. And then that was a great question. I'm really glad you brought that up.
Mhm.
But then at the end of the summer, I was like, man, because I kept getting asked all throughout the summer, like, oh, why'd you just stop? Or, oh, how many dates you get to? And I also felt really bad for, like, the girls I had gone on dates with. They were probably
Yeah.
like, wow, I did this one thing and he just stopped.
Did you have
Like,
to did you message them and let them know at least, or
I didn't, because I
okay.
was supposed to keep it really discreet then.
Great. Okay.
And so I just, like, and it was actually really good timing that it went on pause though, because since I was working 75 baseball games, I really didn't have time anyway. And so it was like perfect timing that they contacted me right before the season started. So then, but then after the season ended, we set up another call, and I was talking to them and I was like, hey guys, people have been asking me, I'd really like to start it back up just so I could finish it out. Is that
Mhm.
okay? And they were like, yeah, do your thing. We don't want to hold you back from anything. So take it and roll with it, gain a following, do your thing, and we'll still work on stuff on our end. And,
That's
if,
really cool.
yeah, so I decided to
It
start
was
back.
almost like a breather too, because of setting up all the episodes and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So it was very nice um to start it back up. I like, if I still hadn't started it right now, I'd be, well, one, I wouldn't be talking to you, but two,
Right.
I'd be like, I would just feel like such a quitter. So
Yeah,
I'm really glad I got to keep
that's
it.
that's a good mindset. Now, did you are these episodes able to be viewed, that you did these dates with, or you can't show any of that yet?
Like, or like my full dates.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my full dates, I haven't released anything on my full dates.
Okay.
And the reason, and I to be honest, I don't think I will, just
Mhm.
because, well, one, length, like, I'd really have to go through and, like, trim and cut and edit a bunch, um,
Yeah,
and whatnot, which would be fine, but also I think, like, it could get a little stale.
that makes sense.
So
Okay.
I think keeping just like the specific fun highlights of stuff
Yeah.
to it on TikTok is the best way to go about it now. But I will be doing some things where I put things on YouTube, and I have kind of like a almost full recaps and things like that.
Yeah, because you grew a little following on TikTok. I mean, it's close. Like, so at 75,000, 73,000. It's probably, it will definitely reach over 100,000 soon.
Yeah, I'm really hoping. My goal was to reach over 100,000 by the end of the year, and so right now I'm a little over 80,000, which is good.
Oh, okay. So it just grew. Okay.
Yeah, so it grew a handful over the weekend and whatnot, and so I'm hoping that yeah, by like the end of the year I can be at 100,000. That's like been a really big goal of mine. I've been really trying hard since October 11th. Like I've tracked my followers and my analytics and my dates, and
No
like
way.
week by week I do like little reports to myself to track how many I gained that week, and it's like kept me motivated because it's just progressed. And some weeks are big, some weeks are a little slower, but like nonetheless, I have the mindset of, hey, if I gain one follower a day, that's progress. I could
That's
gain
awesome.
I could gain 1,000 a day. I could gain 5,000 a day. I could gain four a day. Like it's progress, and so I just got to be
How
patient.
how do you deal with the notifications then? And like right when you blew up, then you're like, oh god.
Well, it was really cool, I guess. Like it's such a cool feeling when you get on TikTok and like you have 99 plus notifications. That's like the coolest feeling in the world. You just click it and then it's just like just a ton. And I'm not the kid to I'll read through some of my comments, but like if there's hundreds or thousands, like there's no way I read them. I
Yeah.
like I'll try to read DMs here and there. On Insta I read my DMs pretty good. But TikTok sometimes I don't get to because there's just so much traffic. But
Mm.
um yeah, I mean it's a really cool feeling to get all those. But yeah, I have like my notifications off on TikTok because that would just be terrible if my phone just constantly was like lighting up.
Yeah, I agree. I'm hoping soon that like with Instagram, someone's gonna like you're gonna blow up on there too eventually.
Oh, yeah, that'd be really cool. And TikTok's so nice because like I've gained since October 11th because what I've looked at is like Instagram and YouTube seem to be the toughest platforms to gain followers like quickly.
Yeah.
You have to be really patient with those, and so but Instagram, I mean, it's nice that I link it to my TikTok, so many people click on it and they'll come and follow me because of my traffic. So I've gained in like since the middle of October, I've gained about 1,000 followers on Instagram, which has been
Okay.
really nice, and whatnot. So if I can just keep putting out good content, people will go to obviously my Instagram or eventually when I create a YouTube channel, stuff like that. So that'll be nice.
Now, when does the verifying process gonna come about?
Oh man, I have no idea. I haven't even looked into that to be honest. Somebody mentioned that to me the other day, and I was just like, oh man, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be one that like because I know you can buy like a verification. You're talking about like
Oh, you could? I didn't
you
know that.
like the blue check, right? Is that what
Yeah.
you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I know that you can buy that,
Ugh. No.
but yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like because I've seen people that have bought it, and it's like it to me it's bad taste if I go to someone's profile and it says
It's
they're
fake.
yeah, exactly, and they have like 2,000 followers. It's like no,
Yeah.
and and so it's like it's not. Yeah, it's fake, and so
My
I
my
don't know.
biggest pet peeve in life is someone being fake. I hate that stuff.
Right, dude. Yeah, the people who buy followers, buy likes, buy like it's terrible. Like
It's not cool.
it doesn't do anything for you.
Yeah, and what does that tell you about your personality? That's someone you don't want to go on a date with for sure.
No, not at all. Yeah, exactly. So I think I have a little bit for my verification tag, but hey, it's something to strive for.
Yeah, I agree. So maybe if the show comes about, then it'll definitely get verified. But
Yeah.
uh, so this was a bachelor type experience almost. So do you have any ideas? Did you ever have any ideas of trying to get on that show, The Bachelor, Bachelorette?
That's a great question. I definitely like. I remember before I started this, people would always tell me to try and go on The Bachelor.
Mhm.
Or is it is the Bachelorette's the one where all the guys go on, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So people would always tell me I should apply to be on The Bachelorette because like they say you need someone with like unique backgrounds, and so
Yeah.
since my title with the baseball team was the director of fun, people were like, "Oh my gosh, like you're the director of fun. You're a single guy. You're in different color suits all the time. Like you could make this fun." And so I was like, "Oh, it's interesting." Like, and so I definitely thought about it before this, like during this and after it. I'm like, man, I could really try, or I've thought about it more. I guess like, oh, I could put it out there and be like, hey, I've gone on 50 virtual dates, or I've gone on a date with a girl in every state virtually or whatever, and I could
I'm
catch
experienced.
yeah, exactly. And I think that would do really well. I'm not too sure. I think that might be back pocket, but I definitely have it in like
I have it in my toolbox of like, oh, I could do something maybe like that if it worked. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, because I love that show. I watch it. It's fun, but like the drama, like I'd be the kid and then I'd be the guy in the corner just like waving to the camera. Like I'm like, I don't like, I'm not here for the drama. Like it's so annoying, you know?
Right? Yeah, I know. I feel like I feel like I'd be like the big or like the little kid. I feel like I'd be
Yeah.
like laughing or like making jokes.
I mean,
And
I'd be having fun.
yeah, right? Like I'd be sitting there enjoying like the free drinks they give me or whatever, but like everybody else be like having their shirts off and showing off their muscles and really trying to like flex on the date, and I'm just sitting there being like a goofball. I feel like that's how I would be, but
Yeah, and I mean the whole purpose of there is to find love, and it just makes me laugh. Like some of those guys on there, sometimes I think they're fake. I don't think they're on there for that, for that reason. It just makes me laugh.
oh, 100%. It's good entertainment.
That could be an idea for your show possibly. I don't know if you guys have talked about this, but like a bachelor type experience.
Oh yeah. Well, I've mentioned just to like numerous people like how imagine if The Bachelor like combined it with something like this. Like it's almost like because I mean now people for The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, like if they say, oh, if someone's on The Bachelorette from North Dakota, everybody from North Dakota is like, oh, I hope she wins.
Yeah,
And so like if it was like that in every state would have such audience to it.
viewership. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like it'd be like a Miss America type.
Oh my, that's interesting.
Like it would cause so much attention and so much popularity. So I feel like there's something there.
That's a good idea. I didn't even think about that. That's really cool for you. I really hope it works out. But so has this experience taught you anything then? Just in general or love life?
Yeah. I think biggest takeaway, kind of like I mentioned at the beginning, is how a simple idea can, if you execute on it, can take it to a whole new limit. So I think that has taught me a lot of different things. I mean, I remember when I started it, I was like nervous about getting a lot of, you know, criticism for it and
Hmm.
whatnot, like, oh, what's he doing and whatnot. But like the nice thing about this project is that for the most part, I've got a lot of positivity around it, and everybody's thought it's been such a really good idea, which is nice. There have been some, and it sucks because sometimes it's even my closer friends who will hate on it or dog on it, like in the beginning, and so it's like, and so it makes me feel good once it grows and I keep like gaining in popularity to almost like
Hmm.
just look at them and be like, yeah, that's what I thought in a way, you
Hmm.
know, like it just like
Yeah.
success factor. And so I think it just for me, it's been the persistence and like the direction too, knowing to have direction in your life, like or like a goal you want to get to or something you want, like your mind almost it's kind of like going back to The Secret and the law of attraction, like knowing what you want, and you'll find ways to get to that point, even if
Hmm.
it takes months, weeks, years, like whatever it is, you know. I think the big thing is patience. So I've learned, yeah, the patience part of it is a really big thing, but just the number one thing is how a simple idea, if you have an idea, execute on it, because if you
Yeah.
just don't do it, nothing's gonna happen. So
Yeah, it's like power of intentions was the other word I was trying to explain with The Secret. But listen, every there's always gonna be haters and the people who you succeed and they're gonna be like, oh, I hope he doesn't succeed because I'm jealous now, type of thing. You know what I mean? Like there's always gonna be people like that. So I mean I respect that you kept going with it because I mean like me personally like always with baseball always there are people like oh like talking trash and whatnot. That stuff I love that stuff because it motivates me. A podcast, I didn't really hear anyone talking crap. I'm sure people have behind my back. I mean, but at the same time, I really don't care. Like, it's like I got to the point like in my life where I'm so confident in myself that I know I can do what I want to achieve. So I'm not gonna let someone who's trying to bring me down. I'm not about that. I mean, good for them. Like you're, if anything, it's like owning real estate in their mind type of thing.
100%, yeah. You can't let those people get to you and anything like that. So I've learned that, and I'm glad you brought that up because, and
Hmm.
it's awesome because you got your hands in a lot of different pots, and you're always trying to think of things to do. And so that's
Hmm.
really cool for you because, like I said, that goes back to the idea stuff. Is you're always trying to do different things, and you're not just like, oh, I'm gonna be a dead man walking. and just
Yeah.
go through the motions and wake up and be like, oh, what should I do? Like you're proactive about it, which is awesome, man.
And you know, I know, like, especially since this is like more of a relationship episode, I know what I could bring to the table almost, like, because no girl is gonna want to be with a guy who's not doing anything. You know, they love the guys who are motivated and can do stuff and show that, like you could bring that, like, it's the type of guy you could bring home to their family and like be like, hey, I got this. It's a good feeling to know that like you're doing stuff with your life and then you can help other people. And like I always like to say, like, as long as I could put a smile on someone's face at the end of our conversation, I'm happy, and it makes me feel happy. So, if I could help someone or they can help me, it's a beautiful thing.
100%, man. No, absolutely. I think like one of my biggest things with this whole project of mine is like creating opportunities for others. Like I think that's just so cool to do. Like for example, my Arizona date, she texted me and she was like, hey Matt, I just want to say thank you so much for letting me be part of this whole journey because of that video you posted, the one that did really well, kind of went viral, had all the girls. She said after you posted that video, somebody found my profile and they saw me singing and they want to produce my music.
No way.
Yeah, so that made me feel like
That's so
good.
cool.
Yeah, because like obviously I don't have the singing talent like she did that, but I was like I just opened the door a little bit for someone to find her.
Oh,
and
that's
and
awesome.
that made me feel so good because I like if I could create opportunities for other people and I could do those things through my videos, my content, like my personality, my ideas, whatever it is, like yeah, there to me, and this is why I think me and you are like the same person is because like you touched on making people smile. Like that's what I say in my job right now with the baseball team all the time is there's no better feeling and it's so rewarding. But there's no better feeling than to make somebody smile. Like if I like they literally that's why I went into entertainment in the first place, just because if you can make someone smile, like they forget about all the bad stuff that happened to them
In
all
their
day.
life.
Like yeah, like if they had a crappy day at work, if they were late, if they're having a bad relationship or their wife or husband's mad at them, they spilled ice cream on their jacket, whatever it is, like
Mm-hmm.
as long if you like crack a joke, you give someone a compliment, you do something fun for them, and they smile. They don't think about that at all, even if it's for like 3 seconds. It's so rewarding.
Right. Yeah, and you can't and you can't like make sure someone's not taking advantage of you either. Like knowing that you're there, like it's mutual and it's like a good thing. And so like this podcast specifically, another mantra or motto is always show respect. Like I show you respect, you show me respect, and that's how it should be in life. Like not I don't care what you are, what you believe in, type of stuff. Just always show respect, and that's gonna get you a long way. So that's a really cool thing as well.
100%. Good karma, man, and reputation. It's good.
Yes. Yes. So that we talked a lot. So what is about the love life and whatnot, but like what are your hobbies outside of the 50 states, 50 dates, or 50 dates, 50 states? What are your hobbies outside of that?
So outside of that, I mean, I love to go run. I'm a big runner, so
Okay.
I love going to the gym and running. I love basketball. I love playing basketball. I haven't honestly though, like I haven't played a pickup game for so long,
Oh
like
wow.
because of COVID and everything, and so the gyms aren't really rolling in that way. And then
Right.
I didn't really get a chance this summer to go and play like pickup basketball outside or anything. So I haven't played basketball in a long time. I've just like shot around here and there. So I miss that. But like those are two things that I just really like being active outside. Like I love snowboarding in the winter,
Oh, that's cool.
going on walks. Like I like you said this earlier, but like going on drives. I love going on drives and listening to
Hmm.
music and stuff. Like that stuff's awesome. How about you? What do you like to do?
So anyone who knows me outside of this or personally knows like baseball's like that's like an obsession almost, like always doing something with baseball, working out, I like to do some CrossFit as well. So like I'll do powerlifting and CrossFit. And then honestly, it's so hard because I do I do like a lot of random stuff in my life. And so, every day is like kind of new, and I like to follow like a certain type of schedule. But every day is new, and so there's always something new with a hobby or something. So I don't really have any like too many specific hobbies. I just know that I'm interested. Like eventually, at one point in my life, I want to get into playing acoustic guitar just because I love the sound of it.
That's awesome. I love it. That's so cool.
It's so random, but there's just so many things. Like I can't tell you like and one of these like, did you ever see on the TikToks, the Joe Rogan stuff, like if what if a camera crew was following you, like what they would do type of stuff. So it's funny because I mean maybe this could come from this podcast, but it's funny. I have like a random goal, and I mean I don't know if I'll ever achieve it. I might eventually one time in my life when I'm more free, possibly. But I want to get a random license of like anything, like doing a lot, like so a random pilot's license, a random lifeguard, just all these random licenses that make zero sense, just because you never know when you might need to use that stuff.
That's awesome. That's hilarious. Like you're saying you would want to get a bunch of them.
Yeah,
So,
just to have that use, and like that, like I don't want to like. So a big thing in my life, and it's like general that everyone talks about, but like for us in talking of incomes, like you never want to have one income. You want to have like 5 or 6. So like passive income stuff flows into you type of stuff. So I want to do that, but like take that into like the hobby world. Then I want to have like all these random like traits about me. Like for baseball, like you had to be a 5'2" baseball player to be Hall of Famer almost. But like and like you had to have that heart and whatnot. But like it's like that, but then hobby world too. Like you want to have, like I want to have all these like random things that I could just randomly do.
yeah, that's so cool. That's an awesome goal. You 100% should do that.
It'll happen one day. I'll figure it all out as time goes along, hopefully. But but yeah. So do you follow any sports teams, or do you have any specific favorite teams? Well, you said the Buccaneers. Do you have follow any other sports?
Oh, well, this year I was really bad about it, but I'm a big Oklahoma City Thunder guy. I love the
No
Thunder.
way.
Yeah. And so, but like, I was really bad about paying attention to the NBA this year, just because obviously, like, it was structured a lot different. And then also, I was just so busy, and so I honestly like. It's so weird. I used to be so into the sports world in terms of like I used to do DraftKings, and when I was in college, like me and my buddies, we'd be like staring around. We'd have like 4 TVs, and we'd be watching everything and whatnot. I think just since I've been so busy with like work and then this, that's just like taken so much of my time and focus. I haven't really, like focused in on them, but I still do love obviously the sport. I love sports and
Yeah.
things like that. I do. I should really get back into that when I have more time of like making it a hobby, because I really enjoyed it.
It's fun, like daily fantasy sports. I love doing. Actually, I don't know if I'm banned from DraftKings or something like that, maybe. But
Man,
it's not that I did anything wrong. So I remember when I first started it, because I love fantasy sports. I do all the fantasy sports. I love that stuff. But so with daily fantasy, I joined DraftKings. Put $10 in. This is like my very first time doing it. Put $10 in. And then I made over 100 after the season. So it was a good year for just starting it. And when I went to go cash out, you have to put in the card that you used when you initially did it. Well, I didn't know that, and when I put my mom's card in initially, because my new card was coming in, so I didn't have like a card or anything. So as when I was cashing out, I put my card in, not thinking about it, and they said I avoided their one user policy. And I had all these emails saying, like, begging. I'm like, listen, it's the same last name. Just please, like, get, I'm not like trying to, do anything wrong. And they were like, we get that, but you're avoiding the policy. So, and I think I got banned. And then I think I got uplifted. And then like after I turned 21, and then I don't know. Now it's like, I don't think I can use it again. I went to go try it. So I'm over it. I stopped using it. Now it's FanDuel, but I'm not doing good at FanDuel, so I don't put any money in it. I'm not about gambling.
Dang, that's nuts. I remember, I forgot about this. I remember when I started on DraftKings, I remember it wouldn't let me sign up.
Yeah.
And I kept trying to sign up. And I remember like it was making me so mad because all my friends had it and I was trying to sign up, and it kept saying it was like if you submit a form and then you click submit, it says like, oh, you didn't fill in this box. Or something, like it'll say something like that. Well, mine said, my like red flag was your username is or your username cannot be inappropriate. And I was like, what? Like it was my name. I'm like, what? Like, why is this? And I kept like trying to submit. I'm like, this is making me so mad. But
Oh my
I
gosh.
figured out that do you know how my last name is spelled?
Yeah, that's why I was cautious with saying it, making sure it's all good.
Yeah. And so I'm like, wow. And so like I deleted my last name, and I was like, and I like submitted it and it went right through. I'm like, nice. I'm like, wow. Like that's so terrible.
That is so funny.
Yeah,
I, that is great. Have you played that game Among Us yet? Have you ever played that?
oh no, I'm so mad. I wish I was in college when with like my roommates and stuff.
That would have been fun.
Have you? Is it really fun? Have you played it?
Well, yeah. So that's what when you mentioned the last name thing. So, I played with a bunch of friends that got me into it, and I put my name as Bob on it for some reason. It just popped up, and I just put my username as Bob. But the one time I went to go put Sexy Bob, and it wouldn't let me play because I put Sexy, and I was like, "Are you serious?"
Oh wow.
But now it's COVID Bob because I had COVID.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So what is?
And now stay tuned for a clip from the final part coming
I've been
tomorrow.
hearing like YouTubers like Logan Paul, I think mentioned it once or whatever, but views like he used to be like people used to be obsessed with the views and whatnot, and then they kind of learned like as they grew like it's whatever like but like my mindset, so before I started this I had to remind myself like it may not get views, it may get views, but I had to remind myself that I'm doing this because I like doing it, and if someone can relate with that, then that's all that matters.
Yeah. No, 100%. You couldn't have said it better. Absolutely. I know that's one thing that like it's tough when like if I have a video that does really well or something I have and I'm getting 99 plus notifications and then all of
Mm-hmm.
a sudden I open my TikTok one day and it's just like really dry. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on? It's like somebody took something away from you. It's weird.